Rise. Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1030, Armstrong case.
Thank you. You're welcome. You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong?
Yes, Ms. Judge.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Miss Tally over here, we decided to have a baby together about 3 years ago. And we got a divorce, and now I just need her to pay some child support.
Okay. Well, you guys are going through a divorce, right?
Well, yes, sorry, we're going through a divorce. I wish it was over already. But I've been paying health care for a long time, ever since the baby was born.
How much is the health care?
It's $111 a month.
Okay.
This baby is 2 years old. We've been together for about 3 years, and I just, that's a lot of money.
All right, folks. Let's dive into another compelling child support case. Mrs. Armstrong seeks financial support from her ex-partner, Miss T, for their 2-year-old son, Alex. She explains that she has been covering all of Alex's health insurance costs and believes Miss T should contribute. However, Miss T isn't just concerned about money. She's advocating for more parenting time, wanting to be actively involved in Alex's life beyond financial obligations. The judge listens carefully, acknowledging the need for a balance between financial support and shared parenting. With emotions running high and differing priorities at play, this case is set for a thoughtful and potentially intense discussion. Let's see how it unfolds.
She needs that money. You don't want to pay that money?
No, ma'am. Instead, I want to spend time with this child. She's not allowing me to see my son, Alex, for the last 1.5 years.
Okay.
I mean, I have an amazing 2-year-old son that I'm being denied access to see. And I do not believe that I should be paying child support. Rather than I should be able to spend time with my son and actively be in his life.
Okay. Is there a reason you have not been allowing her to see Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, Judge, I feel like time is not money. And,
Well, stop. Hold on. It's not money. Mm-hmm. But you would agree with me that she is the mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. And would you want for her to deny you access to Alex?
Well, it would be
It's
different.
a yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So, you do not have a reason to not allow her to see her son.
But she doesn't help me take care of my son.
Now, financially, we'll get to that in a moment. Mm-hmm. She's not going to have a choice if the child is living with you primarily. Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how often do you allow her to see him at all?
No.
Okay. Now that's going to change today. You do not have any authority to do that. You do not have it both ways. You can't say, I want her to pay this money, but at the same time, I don't want her to see our son. It doesn't work like that.
Well, once she starts paying me some money, then she can also start seeing the son.
Well, they don't go together.
Okay.
The possession to a child has nothing to do with paying child support. You do not decide that. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because in a different court, you could actually be held in contempt for that if you all had a court order and you were denying her access to your son. You understand?
E presents her case stating that she has been the primary caregiver for their son Alex and has covered his $111 monthly health insurance without any financial assistance from Miss Tally. Frustrated, she's now asking the court to order Miss Tally to start paying child support. However, there's a twist. Mrs. Armstrong admits she has denied Miss Tally access to their son for the past 1.5 years. The judge listens intently, recognizing the tension between financial support and co-parenting rights. Mrs. Armstrong's demand for money while restricting parenting time raises serious concerns. The judge doesn't hesitate to challenge her stance, and tensions rise as Miss Tally prepares to defend herself.
Understand that you have to pay child support as well.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do not have any objection to paying child support. Okay, so you heard that, right? Okay, all right. So it seems like money is what's important to you, not necessarily her having a relationship with the child. That's right, right?
Yes.
And that's sad. And it's very sad that you admitted it. Okay, so you turned in some tax returns up here. I have your gross at $6,000 a year. And how many children? It's just Alex,
It's
right?
just one. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children outside of Alex?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So that brings your net down to $4,789.79 for one child. And then you do have to reimburse her health insurance because she's
Absolutely.
been paying it. You're okay with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't really have a choice, so okay. Plus the 111 comes out to $1,069 a month.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am, it's Judge.
Okay. Why do you have this smirk on your face?
Oh, I like those numbers. Judge Rondo. Judge Rondo.
Sad. She's not going to have to come back in here and say, you know, she's not letting me see my child or anything like that, is she?
So when she sees the child, do I have to be
no.
around?
That's a no, because you're not going to do that, right? You're going to let her see the child.
Do I
Yes.
have to be around her when she comes? She has to come pick the child up, like for a weekend?
Yeah.
Tally steps forward, making it clear that she's not just here to pay child support. She wants more time with her son, Alex. She accuses Mrs. Armstrong of using money as a tool to control her access to their child. However, the judge quickly intervenes, emphasizing that child support and parenting time are separate legal matters. At the same time, the judge warns Mrs. Armstrong that denying Miss Tally access to Alex could lead to serious legal consequences. Miss Tally asserts that she's ready to contribute financially, but she refuses to be reduced to just a paycheck. She wants to be an active, involved parent. The tension in the courtroom builds as both sides struggle to find common ground.
Cordial with each other to some extent. You don't have to necessarily like each other, but
It has
you
to
do
be
need
able
to
to
let her
benefit the
see.
child.
Huh?
It has to be able to benefit the child. I mean, you have to look at Alex's best interest in his life. He needs both of his moms. It's like you can't just deny one.
What's the
I agree with
least
that.
amount of time that I can let her spend with my child?
You know what? We're not going to go there. You're going to let her see him. And that's the end of it. You have your money, right?
Yes.
Okay then. So do you have any other questions? All right. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
The judge takes a moment to emphasize key legal principles in Texas. Child support and parenting time are entirely separate matters, and denying a parent access to their child can lead to serious legal consequences. She stresses the importance of co-parenting and keeping the child's well-being at the heart of every decision. Court orders are not mere suggestions. They are mandatory. Ignoring them or using financial support as leverage only ends up hurting the child in the long run. As the episode closes, the judge delivers a powerful reminder. If you or someone you know is facing a similar situation, share their story. These children grow up under the influence of child support. Court decisions and every ruling helps shape their future. Her final words are firm, yet compassionate, urging parents to always put their children